So before we do get started, we've been on a little bit hiatus. We even missed week one, um, and that was due to some legal issues that we had to taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and start the podcast off. This F.O.L.O 2021-2022 season, the first F.O.L.O of the season, started off with a legal disclaimer. This is not professional fantasy advice. We are merely analysts, and we're pretty much just guys that watch Red Zone. So take that into account. Adjust your lineups accordingly, not based on what we say, and enjoy the ride. There are championships here. One here, one there, another one there. So take that for what take that for whatever it may be. But
listen, we're talking
just
about
so we don't get into more legal issues.
Fantasy. All right, you guys are trying to throw shame on my name, but
I mean, we can talk about current and still throw shame on your name. I mean, what you want, bro? Based on week one.
Living in the past, man.
I don't live in glory. It's all good because you were right there neck and neck with me. So
I was. This is the only reason I didn't clown you this entire week because I only won by like 10 points. And we'll get to it. But welcome back, guys, to F.O.L.O season 2, 2021, 2022. There you go. F.O.L.O episode 1 of week 2. We'll recap week 1 real quick. Go into the week 2 matchups, pick our favorites, talk about the players that are starting, who should start. Listen, man, I looked through some of the lineups, and I don't know if people are tripping or not, but there are some crazy players that's up in the starting lineups. And I'm just very interested in that as a fantasy player because in what world...
good or bad?
I mean, like, questionable. What world are we starting Jamal Williams? You know what I mean?
Proceed.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. There's stuff like that we're going to go ahead and talk about. But let's start off with the week 1 recap. All right. Just real quick. Porky, I know you send your wonderful week 1 recaps at the beginning of every week, so we don't need to go too far in it because everyone here. Oh, and by the way, if you stumbled upon this video, I'm sorry. This is F.O.L.O is for our league only, so I appreciate you watching this first 3 minutes and 24 seconds. But I don't.
This is confidential information. This is how we got into that legal matter in the first place.
Exactly.
Just
for our league
man.
only. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get right into it. All right, first off, we had Gotham's and Swaggy. Real quick. Gotham absolutely demolished the champion in his champion contending season, and 122-79. Do you guys think this is the course for Swaggy and Gotham? What's going on here? Because these lineups, I'm looking at Gotham, I'm like, besides Jerry Jeudy, everyone else still in the same position. Allen Robinson didn't even snap off. Saquon, obviously. Okay. Before we get into that, Saquon, what happened? I know he got injured. I know he's coming back from ACL, and I know people said you expect for him to not be great the first couple weeks, but this is like another level of not being great. What's going on? We saw two games of Saquon. This was recorded. What is this, Friday? So saw 2 games of Saquon already, and it's not good, looking good whatsoever.
Let me ask you a question. If you knew that one of the top performing, let's say you knew that somebody that's supposedly getting a lot of attention is going to get fired, right? So you know that your company is not going to be in a good standing. Are you going to perform at your highest level expertise?
Oh. Ooh. So you're saying, hypothetically, Saquon is holding back?
You see the output that Daniel Jones is producing out there. Yo, Daniel Jones, you want to run?
RB1?
Yeah.
RB1, Daniel Jones.
Go ahead. Yeah. Saquon has no interest of giving 110%.
So Eddie, Gotham Rogues, often mentioned that Saquon is on the trading block. You guys have no interest in he's really not, but you guys have no interest in Saquon. So if you could get him, minus the salaries. This is a dynasty league, so of course we got to think about salaries and everything like that. But minus the salaries, if you could go get Saquon, would you go get him right now? And take Eddie. Okay. Wow, a lot of asterisks on this one. Let's take out the salaries. Let's also take out the equation of Eddie, because Eddie is horrible at trades. So we're gonna take him out of that. Let's say you're dealing with a reasonable person.
I already said he's getting Colin Kaepernick. That's it. No more. No more.
Are you going after Saquon? There you go. No more asterisks. There you go.
I mean, I would, just because when I drafted him his first year, like as a rookie, it was like one of the things where I was like, yo, you got to see that career through. But then, I got a couple offers and I needed to make some moves last year. So, but even without, some of the better performances the last 2 weeks, right, kind of building up slow, I think we can all agree that New York's offense is not very good. I mean, it's just never putting the right people in the right positions, but also the offensive line isn't very good or hasn't been performing very well. So, you had the line last night where you had the 41 yarder,
right?
And then had 56 total rushing yards on 13 attempts. So
yikes.
12 for 16 yards wasn't very good.
Yikes.
But when he can break off a couple of those, I mean, all you need is two of those a game, and sometimes most of the time they go for the touchdown. So I think he's still got a lot in him, but obviously he's talented as shit.
So you said bad O-line, pretty bad offense. How about, would you rather go Saquon or Zeke? Zeke, who's also struggling. Better O-line, better offense, but has not looked like Zeke. No injuries either, but just hasn't looked like Zeke in the last year and a half. Zeke or Saquon?
Yeah, and are we talking contracts? Because this is F.O.L.O. Because he's still got a lot of years on that deal.
He does. All right, give me both. Give me contract side and for our league.
I mean,
Zeke or
contract
Saquon?
side, I'd rather just go Saquon then, because I mean, I don't know. I think I'd also personally just like Saquon a little bit more.
Wow.
So then it's the 1 year, you can kind of determine what happens after that, and then kind of maneuver. Whereas Zeke, I think obviously he'll be better than he was in week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, but their offensive line has to get back together too a little bit, Zach Martin. So, it's going to be better for sure for Zeke. But at the contract level for our stuff, it's just a lot of money until 2023. So.
Was it 30? It's over 33 million, right? For him? Pretty sure.
Yep,
that is. But I mean,
yeah, I can say it definitely is that. But.
I'd personally take Zeke. Contracts aside, I'd take Zeke. Even with contracts, I would take Zeke. I again, like you said, bad O-line, bad offense for Saquon, but you got the reverse where for Zeke, the only thing that worries me is that defense. That defense worries me for Zeke. Man, they suck so bad that Zeke is just going to be not relevant whatsoever. They're going to need Amari Cooper. They're going to need freaking CeeDee Lamb every single game. But back to my original question. You guys see Eddie and Silmar doing the same thing all year? Eddie dominating Silmar, going back to the loser squad?
No.
I think it'll be. I mean, at least for Silmar, right? No, I believe obviously Aaron Rodgers with 3 points, Zeke with 4 points almost.
And he has Dak too. So I mean, if he's calling the matchups right, his Swaggy's got QBs
exactly.
for days.
So yeah, to your point, he's got some folks on there that he'll do better. But not a good matchup for week 1 for the Silmar side.
Swagging Aggies. All right. Let's move on to the next matchup. And then this one, to me, was the most surprising L of the week. Hey, I like that category. Most surprising L of the week will go to Gene Power. DGB, explain yourself. What happened here? 135-99. You got busted. And DB.
I have a little bit of a choking problem because that's exactly what happened there for week 1. I went into the week and all kidding aside, RSO scoring, is what it is, right? Their predicted scoring. But, I had the highest projections all week, and then I came in with the 3rd or 4th lowest points of the week, 99. So not very good. Obviously hoped for a lot of bigger and better things. Just didn't happen. So, week 1, baby. Just getting back into it.
I feel that.
We're a little old, So it takes us a little bit to.
I mean, both your running backs did what they were supposed to do. Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, but the rest of your team.
For sure.
Oh, DeAndre Swift did some stuff too. Defense. But all right, this week you're expecting.
obviously.
Oh yeah, Ayuk.
was
That
a bad
was
one.
shocking. Yo,
Yes.
what's up with Ayuk with 0 points? That's hilarious.
Yes. And then the whole week of bullshit with it, but and then
Are
it was
you
like,
starting him?
No.
Are you starting him this week? No.
No, man. Like I got options, so I'm like, I'll go outside of that. But we can go get to week 2 here after that. But yeah, no, not my finest week for sure. And DB, I mean, they just came and obviously, yeah, Austin Eckler had the 1 touchdown. I was like, damn, like okay, if you could have gone without that, maybe. But then Nick Chubb doing his thing, and yeah, Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes.
That's stacked.
Like,
probably nastiest stack in the league right there.
Yeah.
Tyreek and Patrick.
Hats off, week 1 W to you. So,
what expectations for the rest of the year?
Emphasis on week 1.
Oh, for me, man, it's like I mean, obviously playoffs. I have the roster that like.
Julian,
what do you mean?
What are we doing here, Julian? What is the expectations for DGB?
DGB. I'm like,
yeah. Of course, I'm going to be
what am I going to tell you?
No, Julian, you think? What do you honestly? You look at the team. You look at Derek's team. A lot of riches here. A lot of riches, and you think honestly, DGB will be his own worst enemy this year? As far as picking the right players to put into the matchup week in and week out?
So here's the thing. I thought that initially, right? And today, and I said it right. I said Derek is so out of his element now. He has so many tools in his pocket, but he doesn't have draft capital. I mean, he doesn't have salary, okay? I went into this, me and Jack were going back and forth on what we need to do. Right now, the draft got out of hand, right? And me and Jack are so we're stacked with salary, right? Okay. So players got out of hand. We're like, all right, now we got to make something happen. So we were looking at the options. We had the chance to get OBJ out of reduced contract, severely reduced contract, and we had the draft capital to make up for it. But it was trading with DGB here and giving him salary. Mm-hmm. It was a necessary evil. Now, I think if we handicapped him, he needed salary, which would have limited him, right? But I can't play defense entirely because that's what we did in the draft. So we knew going into it, listen, we have assets. People are going to get injured. So we know we're waiting for that late playoff push. At the end.
Gotcha. The late playoff push. You're going to get to. So that's when OBJ is going to spring a lot for you guys. Score all the points that he's supposed to score as our wide receiver 1 for the Cleveland Browns. Okay. All right.
Hopefully.
Okay. This is why I gave the disclaimer at the beginning of the episode, guys. But to finish answering, you think now because DGB has salary that he's going to succeed now? Is that where you were going with all of that?
I think it puts him back a little bit more in his element to have options. So I do believe now he's got a bigger edge than he initially had. But yeah, I mean, we got to play our strength for our team and know what the league is and go from there. So.
Yeah, all right. It was for me real quick. It was just like, yeah, I was sweating because I got Rashad Bateman on the IR. Like, I think he'll come back, week 5, 6, something like that, right? It's like by that point, I need to have enough room to bring him back up. And it's like I couldn't necessarily do that because I was so tight against the cap, which there's a couple other ones. So when we get past like, week 2 stuff, or whatever, like looking at some of the cap stuff might be kind of interesting.
Really? What do you mean?
You, Professor.
Me? Why?
No, yeah, I'm just saying. No, I was because of the total amount you have for the rest of free agency, I guess.
Oh, I'm good, bro. You see my team? I got $1 million. I'm fine. I rolled freaking $300K from week 3 on all the way through last year. Got to the second place. Yeah. I'm perfectly fine, man. I've lived my whole life with a budget. I'm good.
Well, okay, because this is what I was thinking. I know, but this is what I was thinking because I knew you had IR, but he's gone for the year, so it really won't come back on you. But like for Bateman, like we have the IR where you have to bring them back up when they're eligible, right?
Right.
So like for us, like I wouldn't have been able to, so then I would have had to get rid of
something.
And I don't know what that would have been.
No, I
So
feel
was
that.
So
I'm not too worried about my
But yeah.
IR. I got Cam Akers, who's obviously out
Yeah.
for the year. And I got Anthony
And besides-
Anthony McFarland, and so I can just cut him when he comes back. So I'm not really worried.
And besides,
Right.
if you need salary, then you know you can talk to me and check.
Go to Kojays,
Yes.
exactly. All right, DB. Let's talk about the guy that won a lot. Won by a lot of points. Is this
Second highest
this
points
was
in the league.
this was surprising to me. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't see him scoring 135, 145 if he actually plays the freaking defense. But or even more,
Actually,
150.
they put up 15.
Yeah, he would have had 150. Dang. Is
would've
this
been right under Terrace.
wild? Yeah, wild week one. Do you guys see?
Hey, just to let you know out there, in case you got forgotten our league, we do pay for points. So I mean,
Very true.
That is
a
very
big,
true.
Yeah. It ain't just
My
about
bad.
the dub. There's levels to this, bro. Like you gotta stay on.
At the end of the year, when you
Very true.
miss out on that points payment,
15 points.
By
Yeah,
15
coming
points.
second by
Now,
14.
skipping ahead to week 2, this man still doesn't have a defense in his slot, and he's going up against Kojays. Maybe to try to make a point. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Prove that point. Keep doing it. You know, for the rest of us.
Yeah, write it up. You know what? Just don't draft one. Cut them. You know,
Yeah.
it's all good.
That's it. All right, next one. Ray first class. This one was not too surprising. I kind of saw this one coming. First class, pretty stingy with his money, salary, draft capital. Gone with a similar move than with the Kojays, except he did score a bit more, which is great. But he's still kind of that middle of the lane team. He's got Derrick Henry. Obviously, Derrick Henry was a bit of a bust last week. Yeah, that whole entire team complete bust. But
Melvin Gordon got that late touchdown too. Otherwise, that's
I was like
12 that would have kept
70.
him under 100.
Yeah, that was like 70 yards or something like that, right? Too. So
Yeah.
that's both his starting running backs. You look at his flex. He's got Noah Fant, Laviska Shenault. Okay, we'll see how that looks in week in and week out. And of course, Kyle Pitts. He got Kyle Pitts too. So, which rookie tight end? Who do you guys see for your first class? How do you guys? Is this he's going to be in a loser circle? Is this finally the year where he makes it to the playoffs, or what's going on with this guy?
I think it's matchup week. Really, he's going to be consistent around, and it's going to be based off of his schedule.
Okay. So
Yeah,
like
for
this
sure.
week,
I can
he's
see
going
middle of the road.
middle of the
you
road.
know? Yeah.
And hey, every league needs
Which
a
ain't bad,
middle of
I
the
mean-
road, man. Hey, everyone needs a 5th, 6th, and 7th place. You know what I'm saying? Like that's important in the league. It is. You got Ray Puppets predicted to go off. He didn't go snap as much as he could have, but Najee Harris, young stud running back, didn't do too much for week 1. That whole Pittsburgh offense looked questionable. We'll talk about a little bit more about that in a little bit. Thoughts on Ray? No, nice, promising team. Josh Allen, Chris Carson, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce. Nice, promising team. But when you look at all these other high scores, 154, 150 possibly, 137, 122 even. Like, what do you see there?
For Josh he's got the potential to be at least in this range, right? Like the 115, like kind of, I wouldn't say floor, right? Because we all have some bad weeks worse than this, but like probably pretty consistent at least about this score. Because look, Josh Allen didn't really put up a ton of points. Chris Carson was fine without the fumble. He's in double digits. Najee Harris, whatever. Justin Jefferson, really not really. And then, Hopkins and Kelce, were great. And then Cooper Kupp. So, he's got some guys that are more or less consistent. And then, the Robbie Anderson's got a hit for him, and, kind of going that way. But, like, he's got the level to get kind of consistently get W's, and then it's like, will they all come together at the end of the season, because he usually puts together a good team. So
I think his median range, I'd put him at 119 and a half.
Okay.
But I think he's probably got one of the most consistent benches in the league. So it's going to base off of his big name players that are going to produce his major output. But I think he's got a solid bench, one of the best ones in the league, honestly.
Okay. All right. Hey, great analysis from the analyst here. Fantastic. All right, next matchup. Recap real quick. Finish it off. We got 2 more to finish off, and we'll get to week 2 real quick. All right. Go Jays, Kareem, Krispy Kremes. Porky versus me. Porky and Jack versus me. This was not a match I was proud of. You should have seen my face Sunday. It was an embarrassment. Just watching everyone. Like I said, we watch Red Zone here, so we see every touchdown. Every touchdown.
I'm too cheap for Red Zone. I don't have that.
I signed up. I was at the airport. I signed up for F.O.L.O TV free trial 7-day, and I was like, all right, boom, got it. Watching it on the plane, everything. Like the dude next to me was like, yo, thanks for letting me watch that with you. I was like, not a problem. So shout out to you, guy, man. You were cool. We were like chopping it up a little bit. So, also F.O.L.O TV. Otherwise,
you got 17 different emails.
Yeah, right.
Broke boys for the win. I love it. All right, but this matchup, right. This matchup again. We can run through this one really quickly. This one was pretty.
I can speak to it. Right?
Go for it. Go for it.
I guess we're not speaking to our own matches, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this one, I wish I was playing either of you because then I would have came away with a W. I was the 4th lowest scoring of the week, so that was unfortunate for scheduling. But I mean, on the Koj side, Jameis obviously going off. That was like what you need to see out of him. But then outside of that, it all felt flat.
There's literally nothing.
I mean, Ronald Jones, that's only slightly worse than Brandon Ayuk for me, but right there, same level. And then everything else, the Mostert injury, just kind of killed momentum. And Professor, from your side, no one had a real great game either.
Yeah.
But, the defense and Justin Tucker giving you 10 points, each respectively, was huge.
Huge.
So, that was what you need to have happen.
Don't forget our team captain, Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Yeah. Found himself in the end zone.
The backup running back for the Cleveland Cavaliers was the highest scoring person on my team.
Dude, what position does he play for the Cavs, bro?
That's any Cleveland Cavaliers.
Played point, just quick.
That club was brought to you by Drecker. There you go.
Beautiful plug. Good job, man. That was very natural.
No need to knock off Russ here, baby.
Yes. Sports set us up. Let's go. We get an average of 25 views per video. Let us go, man. Come on.
I didn't know we were in double digits.
Respect. Okay.
Let's go. All right.
But to wrap this one up, both of y'all were not very good in week 1, and that's happens sometimes. But unfortunate that was both y'all.
Honestly, my huge thing was touchdowns. I'm hoping this week that gets corrected, because if I add a couple touchdowns to a couple players, looking completely different. So we'll see how that looks like this week.
All of us.
Yeah, I guess.
All of us.
This is the under 100 club.
But
And if Swaggy Nagy would have been able to jump on, that would have been all 4 of the under 100.
Man,
that would have. Yes.
That would have definitely
been
put
the first 4 out
vibes.
of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at it from a points perspective.
And this is why I put the disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. This is exactly why. So we'll see how we all perform this week. Hopefully, I came away with the dub, so I'm happy. But hopefully, we all come back with better perspectives of our team next week. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Final recap.
Last matchup.
Yeah. Best scoring team. Show me your TDs, Terrence versus Easy. Truth 154. And man, I was watching the games with him and could not stop him from talking about it. Honestly, I just could not. It was red zone. Guess who was in the red zone? Constant. Kyler Murray, Darren Waller, DJ Chark, Chris Godwin. Oh no, that was last Thursday. That was in the red zone, to be fair. Even Miles Sanders with him. It's kind of crazy. So all of his people snapped off. He thinks this is going to continue. And what's kind of crazy, it says he was projected for 86 points. I don't know if that's.
I was gonna say. I was going to highlight that point. Is that the lowest of the week?
I'm pretty sure.
Around? Because that's not good. And he nearly, doubled that amount,
RSO, Reality Sports Online. You gotta do something with that algorithm. That's pretty crazy. versus Easy taught me who put up a great game as well. 137
second most
week
points.
1. Yes, and you lose week 1. Oh my God, what a way to start off
Matchups.
a fantasy year. Like, he just belongs in the toilet bowl constantly, brother. Look at this team. It's really good. It's a really good team. It's held up by his wide receivers. Unfortunately, Devontae Adams didn't even go off. He still scored over 130 points. So
or Ridley, yeah.
And the guy he's putting on the trading block had a monster game.
Exactly. What do you guys think of Tyson Williams? Is that a fluke? I know, who did they bring in? Latavius Murray now.
And Devonta Freeman.
Freeman. Is Tyson Williams the starting running back, or what do you guys think of that one?
Timeshare for everybody, man.
Yeah,
two
I don't
old guys
think it's
and a young guy.
Right. I mean, that touchdown that he had, that run on Monday night, it was, I mean, it was so, like, the lane was so open that he just was like, just boom, hit the Jets, and, he's got speed, that's for sure. But, like, that, so there are some elements of that, but, like, I don't think he did himself any favors because, like, the late blocking assignments when he missed some of that, and there was a sack late in the game, like, a lot of that shit matters, to, like, making sure you don't have that happen. So he'll get his moments, but there's too many people. Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
But it's worth a lottery shot, right?
And you still have the running back one as your quarterback. So that's a tough backfield to be in, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll see if Tyson Williams does again this week. I'm kind of interested in seeing that. I want to see what I really want to see what these particular teams do this week, especially since Terrence doesn't have either of his starting running backs, or I should say Aaron Jones is a flex, but Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs he doesn't have. So I guess we'll get. I mean, screw it.
Aaron Jones he traded to Yeezy.
Yeezy, exactly, for AJ Brown. So hold on, trying to get to week 2. There we go, week 2. Let's go ahead and start with Terrence's matchup. Who's he going up against? Oh, DGB versus Show Me. This is a good matchup. Ooh, okay.
What a start too, eh?
Yeah, right. Freaking. Well, Terry McLaurin snaps a little bit. Yeah, kind of disappointing for Antonio Gibson. I know you're an Antonio Gibson truther, but J.D. McKissick looked like the RB1 out there, buddy.
No, I mean, if you look at it, Antonio Gibson had more snap. Like, he had like 64% of the snaps, right? But like, there were some moments, and I did some internet sleuthing. 64% of the points. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Let me say, I did my research. All right, I did my research, and at one point after a long run, he kind of tapped to get out of the game for a second, and then J.D. McKissick, that was the drive with the touchdown. So some speculation there from some sources.
He pulled a Derrick Henry from a couple years back where he could have got like the scoring touchdown record or something, and then like, hey, want to come in back up running back?
Right.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I told you yesterday I'm out on everything Washington football team. I'm sorry. That everything NFC East looks just horrible still.
True. Very much so. We'll see about the Eagles though. I mean, they got some promise. Quarterback, wide receiver.
Quite a surprise too, man. I didn't expect them to come up that quick like that.
Shooting like that, Jalen Hurts is the truth, man. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. All right, so our matchup, I can't speak on it, so I will leave the floor to.
Who you got? Who you got, and what? Give me a couple players you're watching on this
one. Let's see. The 2 running backs is going to be a bit of a hit for Show Me.
Mm-hmm.
Thing about Tampa's wide receivers, it's always a timeshare, and you got James Conner in there. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 10 to 15 carries, break off on 1 or 2 of them, but that's about it, and not even anything for major, I don't love it. Chark, I think he had a great game, and Corey Davis just blew up, but the Jets notoriously don't perform all that well against New England too, so that's something to look out for. And when you look at DGB, you got Caffrey and Cook there. McCaffrey and against the Saints, it's going to be, man, take the over on that game. And then you got Cook against Arizona. He didn't have a great game last week, and I really think they're going to take off now. But I'd say the person to look out for, this is going to be extremely hard to say, is Jamar Chase.
Yeah, versus Chicago. Yeah, I was looking at that name. Oh, it's either going to be T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. It's going to absolutely go nuclear versus our Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
But, hey, things have to happen in order for life to proceed. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get our regular pod talks more about the Chicago Bears. This is just a little excerpt. All right, but Chicago's a bit divided now. There's the people that are screaming and calling for Matt Nagy's head because he will not start Justin Fields. And there's the people that are just like, oh, root for the Chicago Bears, whoever the quarterback is. And I hate those people because you just want us to continuously suck. I don't even know what my point was. It was just I had to get it off my chest. We haven't done a regular pod in a minute. I had to get it off my chest. Why are we starting? Let's get back to fantasy football. Justin Fields, week 3. We'll get there. Woosah. All right, back to this. I agree wholeheartedly with you, Porky. Honestly, I think Show Me might have a reverse week of last week. But hey.
He's going to have an F.O.L.O J's week, is what you're saying?
I think so. But I mean, Kyler Murray is a snapper. And, hey, he's got hitters. Darren Waller getting 19 targets last week is absolutely insane, even though he's going up against Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. That's a little tough, but still.
Chark against Broncos, targets.
Too. Yeah, Chark against the Broncos. And we still don't even know what the Jaguars are. Don't know if it's Marvin Jones, Chark. We still don't really know. We know that. We know they're crap. Yes, you're 100% right. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go ahead and go with you. And again, I'm not even bumping up DGB's team because, it's good. But it's really just show me your TDs. I'm really concerned about his matchups and players that aren't available this week, to be honest. So, but like you said, Jamar Chase, that Cleveland defense. I know Houston got the dove last week, but ooh-wee. Myles Garrett is gonna have some fun with Tyrod Taylor back there, bro. This could be a nasty game to watch. All right, next matchup real quick. Move on. So we all got show me or not Gene Power on that one. Let's go ahead. F.O.L.O J's DB. Let's go to that one. This one, I didn't know this one was coming this early in the year. So DB and you and Coach, you guys have been going back and forth for the last season and a half, name calling and things like that. He still doesn't have a defense in. Major disrespect. You put up 3.8. Why'd you play Kenny Golladay? What is wrong with you? What's going on there, buddy?
Yeah, he had the targets, but again, his QB was not there. Now we're in questionable territory, but
his QB wasn't there. Did you say that? Because all today, everybody was saying Daniel Jones had the best game of his life last night.
Wow, they must see that secondary group of man, dude. Everything was behind. They had to slow down their routes and everything. Daniel Jones, that's why Kenny Golladay was going at him,
because he sucks. I get it. All right, but I mean, are you starting Kenny Golladay this or next week?
There's a 99.999% chance that he will not be in the start match.
Okay. All right, DGB, who you got in this matchup?
All right. So when you look at this one, it's at least, try not to look at last week, right? Or think about last week's kind of points or lack thereof. Mm-hmm. But I just look at the matchups again, right? Nick Chubb and the Houston defense, he's bound to score. He just does it every week. But then otherwise, the Jalen Reagor and Rondale Moore is kind of
interesting. Bold. Yeah, that's a good word. Bold. Yeah.
His bench doesn't have guys that you would then, necessarily say you would count on aside from Darrell Henderson.
Harris. Oh yeah,
maybe Damian Harris.
I'm really questioning these choices right now.
Yeah, I think it's the choices thing for me. Right now he's projected points at 100 and basically 1. Coach is at 93. Jameis, you got to hope that he does the same thing as last week. Anything better than nothing from Ronald Jones. Gaskin against Buffalo is, Buffalo's a tough defense, but he's their number one guy. So, you got to roll it out there. And then, Mike Evans, does last week's kind of does him and Brady got some kind of pact where he's he took less money this year, did something to restructure his contract so other folks could get on board and get paid. And it's if he's cool with that and here and there, is it good for fantasy? No. But is that going to happen?
Championships, Super Bowls, good for Super Bowls.
Yeah, I just look at also like the line, and I think Baltimore and Kansas City is one of the higher scoring matchups this week, even though Baltimore's defense and all that. But I got to go with DB on this one.
Okay, I am. Honestly, I was gonna go with DB until I saw the Jalen Reagor and Rondo Moore. That is those and the T Higgins. I think will decide the matchup. I think Ronald Jones will bounce back. Have a bit of a better game. Yeah. It sucks that Kenny Galladay already has a crap game, so you already have that kind of going for you already. That kind of sucks.
That hurts.
And that's kind of the only other reason I wanted to kind of stick with DBs because we already saw what Kenny Galladay does. That Jalen Reagor, Rondo Moore over Damian Harris, Darrell Henderson, that is questionable. Even KJ Hamler, I didn't even play KJ Hamler over Jalen Reagor. Because that's
at least one of them, right?
Right, yeah.
Like Reagor or Moore, and at least put in one of the other. I mean, even Kenny and Drake. Although Gruden said some weird shit today about Peyton Barber being kind of involved as well. So I mean, whatever that is, but Drake might be an option. Although it's against Pittsburgh, which isn't good either. So
right, that's true too. Yeah, and that's tough.
Pittsburgh. But
that's tough. It's got some tough matchups too. A lot of his people are away. That's and like I said, T Higgins is either gonna be T Higgins or Jamar Chase. One of them. I don't think both of them will, but one of them will definitely have a fucking amazing game. So this one's tough. I think DJ Moore scores a lot. I think Mike Evans at least gets to the end zone, even if he only gets 1 yard. And I think Ronald Jones bounces back. Jameis does what Jameis will do, but he's going. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I think this one actually become a little bit closer. I think I'm gonna lean on DB still, just because Kenny Galladay. If he doesn't put a defense in, he's losing. I'm just gonna say that. If he doesn't put a defense in, he's losing. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, we'll go ahead and just make it fair. Put in my matchup. I'll be quiet. We got Ray versus Kareem's. I did make a bold move today. Benched Ryan Tannehill, who was completely poo-poo last week. And I picked up Big Ben Roethlisberger off the waiver wire and put him right into my starting lineup. They're at home. It is bold. I'm going with the Ben Roethlisberger, Chase Claypool stack for the win. And now you can roast me. Go for it.
You want to take this one first, Porky?
Hold up, I'm still looking at the lineup, man.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just go off the top real quick of like what I had saw, because I did see you put the stack with Ben and Chase Claypool. Well, I saw the Ben edition. So I mean, yeah, bold. Sure, I would like it for my Deontay Johnson shares. However, he's not at the lineup, but whatever, just for futures. But like looking at the teams, right? I mean, Montgomery has a good chance at taking on Cincinnati. I mean, he's got the juice. I think that's been shown right this year. CEH in Baltimore, that's kind of tough. So
that's a tough one.
I'm not really sure about that.
Josh Jacobs did score a couple times last week, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, Keenan Allen for this matchup. This is, I think, the either tied or second highest line for the over/under in Vegas for this week, and so like just shootout, right? And Keenan Allen's a dog, so that's good. Stephon Diggs, that's a tough matchup just because Miami's defense and the corners. Xavier
you don't bench Stephon Diggs. Just don't do it.
No, hell no. No. I'm just saying for tempering expectations.
I know. This is what I've been thinking about, but go ahead.
But you've got some people in the lineup on that side, and when I look at the other side with Ray's puppets, I think like last week, he didn't really get to show everything he had, but he has a solid floor, and for that, I am gonna go with Krispy Kremes though, because I think that there are some matchups that favor some action here with the Keenan Allen especially, and I mean Kareem Hunt, Houston, not very good either. So it's
took me on a loop. I was like, damn, it's an L. All right, Porky, laying on me.
So I think this is going to be a huge bounce back game for the Krispy Kremes. I think I see the matchups, I see the projections. They look solid. Now, what we're looking at, though, I think is going to be the deciding factor is Justin Jefferson, Arizona. Feeling late.
Good point.
I think this matchup is going to make or break this. I think Jefferson's going off for 7, or I think he's going off for 20. And I think that's going to be that deciding factor in this tight match. I don't think I see it 6 points margin.
Ooh. So literally down to a player. Go for it.
So yeah, when you made the point with Justin Jefferson of like, his the 7 to then the 20 points on RSO for projection this week, he's at 14.8. So really right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
So they got that one, sure. But yeah, I mean, when you look at this week for Rares, but like at least the RSO projections, because again, we don't really pay these very much mind. But like when you look at how like they matched up then in terms of your overall score this week, making it appear kind of close, right? It's like 14s and 15s for a lot of his players, which is great, as you want to have. But like Scott on your side, there's quite a few of those as well. So it's the Chase Claypool, Ben Roethlisberger stack needs to hit.
Yeah,
that's the thing here.
I'm going for all of that.
If I got to sacrifice the Deontay Johnson touchdowns for this week here, I guess I'll let that slide. You get me another week, we'll be straight. So
all right, well, you guys said I have more. I'm gonna get a dub today. So that's been the episode. Thank you guys for no, I'm just kidding. We got 2 more.
And on a high note,
right? All right, Yeezy versus Swaggy. Edit. My bad. All right, so these guys are best friends, right?
Think so.
Yeah.
They play soccer together.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So the predictions got them like a point off. Swaggy had a disappointing week last week, but kind of like similar situation. He just didn't have any touchdowns. Really interesting matchup. Let's go ahead and start with this one. Hold on. The players that I'm watching Aaron Jones. Yeezy just got him for AJ Brown. I'm definitely watching that because I want to see. What happened last week with Green Bay versus New Orleans? I think people were sweeping this under a rug, and I think there's actually some stuff you need to address there. Like, it looked bad. It wasn't just one of those we'll get back. No. It's gonna take weeks for them to get back. Probably they'll be back by the time they face the Bears, because that's usually what kind of happens. But I don't think that offense is that offense anymore, and I don't know why. But at least for the next couple weeks, I don't think they're going to be explosive as they normally. I could be wrong. Again, did the disclaimer, so I don't think I need to say that type of stuff. But Aaron Jones, I'm definitely watching Aaron Jones. Calvin Ridley, I want to see how that Atlanta offense actually formulates, actually works. Calvin Ridley was explosive the first 3 or 4 plays of the game, and then completely disappeared the rest of the game. So I'm very interested to see how that kind of flows. And Antonio Brown. Oh, what a bold start. Now, Antonio Brown had a great game last week. Only had 3 or 4 targets or something of that nature, right? If I'm not mistaken. So again, like you said, Porky, I think you said earlier, a lot of riches in that Tampa Bay offense. So it's kind of a coin flip on who's going to be Godwin, Brown, or Evans today. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can support 2 of them versus Atlanta, because that defense didn't look great. So I don't know. That might be a good one. But those at least are the ones I'm kind of worried about on Yeezy, and that's the reason why I'm taking Swaggy. Also, he's got Logan Thomas that only scored 4 points. That kind of helps my decision too. Go ahead. Who else? What do you guys think?
Yeah, as I was looking through this, and I was in total agreement, right? I'm like, man, yeah, to me, this looks like a matchup for Swaggy. I don't like a lot of Yeezy's matchups.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
tough matchups. Joe Mixon versus Chicago. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be terrible. I actually think Damian Williams is gonna have a better game than Joe Mixon personally, because he's got the hands. Because he gets the receptions. But as Zeke and Kamara back to back, I like that. So. But with that, right, I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, well, it's going to lean to Yeezy. I mean, it's going to lean to Swaggy. But then I look down and I stopped. And I said, wait a minute. This man has the Broncos defense against Jacksonville.
Ooh, let me see that.
I think that is a huge dub for Yeezy this time.
That is nasty.
Yeah. So I think that can get up there because he's got the Bears D against Cincy. That's
yeah.
we're not expecting too much. Earlier, yeah. Yeah, Cairo Santos. That means, are we even gonna get into field position? That's the rough.
I think we still be able to. I don't think the Cincinnati defense is going to trounce us.
I get it, but I guess what I was looking at was look at the intent, the time of possession in the Bears' favor, right?
Yeah.
And they did very minimal with it. It was so you're taking all this time off the clock. So even if you get to the range, your kicker doesn't have as many opportunities to kick the field goals.
I think you're leaving out the factor that Andy Dalton is a captain now. So add that to it.
He's playing.
Exactly. He's a captain. So he's got a C on his chest. So think about that.
And what's going to happen is he's going to get closed, or Trubisky. History repeats itself. I just hope it happens before we go to Cleveland.
Oh man, hopefully. We'll see. Elijah Mitchell, I'm really looking out for that one too. I really want to see if we never know with Kyle Shanahan. I mean, to be honest, it could be Jermichael Hasty. That's the starting running back. Right. You know what I mean? We just never know. So I'm really interested in seeing that.
Sermon this week. Yeah, the Sermon had a better practice week, or it looks good and is going to get some time.
Insane. Yeah. All right. DGB, who do you get? Real quick. I'll let you do the analysis for the next one, but who you got for this one?
For this one, I have Yeezy. Okay. Just, for the fact of what he did last week, kind of factors in a little bit, but Tampa Bay is going to be without two of their top corners, Carlton Davis and Sean Murphy-Bunting, who went out last week and won. Ridley, so I think Ridley's going off. Cooper, like I said, that game's going to be a shootout.
That is, yeah.
And then, Devonta Adams and Aaron Jones. I think the Packers are getting back on board this week. Detroit's defense isn't very good, right? We all know that. They just lost Jeff Okudah for the year. So, Devonta Adams and Aaron Jones, I think, will come back in a big way. I had Yeezy in this one by quite a bit, to be honest. Okay.
All right. Well, you guys got the reigning champ going 0-2. That's crazy. This is typically, if you start off 0-2, I don't. I was gonna go somewhere. That I don't really know. But that would be interesting. We need to start keeping stats like that. The last 15 years, people who start 0-2 are 45% likely to get. Come on, stat man. Next playoff.
Hold on, wait. DGB, you said Green Bay is going to bounce back sooner. I would have said that, but I think now we are in an 18-week schedule. Okay. And Aaron Rodgers was playing chicken with Green Bay the entire time. With an extra game, and we're in the North. Nobody's looking prominent. He's gonna say no.
So he's just gonna chill for a little bit.
Yeah. Usurp the throne, and you will bend over, but he will still be gone out of Green Bay.
We're like, oh, you need me? You need me now? Okay. Let me turn it on real quick. Coach is trying to give a halftime speech. He ends up giving the halftime speech and showing out.
Him and Randall Cobb get together for 17 touchdowns in the second half.
Right. Career year.
So I just want to interrupt. We're going through our final matchup in a quick second, but I know I plugged Drecker earlier. I want to plug Chick-fil-A sauce. I didn't know they came like this. It replaces ketchup for everything for me now. It is. It's a perfect dipping. You can put it on burgers, chicken.
Just hold on. I want to confirm. Before you went into this chicken plug, were you licking your fingers?
No, it's Corona. I don't.
No, they were finger licking good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, gotcha. No, Chick-fil-A. I wouldn't say finger.
Yes, because you are virtually giving me COVID. Even Mike, come on now.
COVID. I don't lick my fingers, man. COVID.
Come on.
Not even in my house.
Not even in my own house. Nope. Don't do it. Oh man, I'm sorry. I just had to enlighten people because I didn't know that was at your nearest grocery store. Amazing, changed my life. $3.99.
Beautiful.
Next matchup.
You got that Price is Right Ding, ding, ding.
Over under, yeah.
Yeah, man. Just
Really
saying.
get into gambling.
All right, final matchup. First class versus Gotham Rogues. A little bit tough that Washington defense only put up 3 points. That was unexpected. Well, I shouldn't say unexpected, but everyone is taunting this.
Everyone's
Throwing
hoping.
out, yeah, hoping that this Washington defense is the same exact as it was last year in top 2, I believe it was, right? Top 2 or 3, they were kept saying last time. And yeah, they kind of wet the bed against Daniel Jones and Sterling Shepard last night. So that sucks. But what do you guys think of this one?
First off, I would like that comment to be removed. You said they got taken down by Daniel Jones. Like, whoa. Hold on here.
What else did I say? What? All right. So who you got? I got Gotham Rose in this one. He was just pretty dominant last week. I'm watching Gotham. Where is he at? CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts, Stafford on the road. We've seen Stafford for years. We know he's good, but he's also pretty bad. I can't wait for the bad Stafford to rear his ugly head in LA. So all of these golden boy things, because we've seen him for years. Like, all of this talk about Stafford being elite and shit, like, I don't know where all of that has come from. I know he's been with the crafty Lions forever, but we've seen bad Stafford a lot of times as Bears fans.
I mean,
so,
I think a great comp to Stafford is Cuddy.
Kid Cudi?
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh,
He's been
Cutler,
around
Jay
for
Cutler.
some time.
Yeah.
You know,
said-
He's really
been around
worked
for
on
a
his
really
vocals.
long time.
Wow, that was
Occasionally
bad.
He makes his presence known.
I'm sorry, my
Getting
bad.
there, you know. He's
My
working
bad.
on it.
Jay Cutler. No, you're right. That is a good comp. Matthew Stafford. And he is of that cloth as well, too. That old time quarterback cloth. But he killed it last week. Player of the week for the NFC. So we'll see if he does, but I'm watching him. As far as Gotham, really it's just Trey Sermon, Christian Kirk. Those are the only questionable ones I have. I didn't know Trey Sermon, they came out with that report that said Trey Sermon looked good this week. He was a complete scratch last week. So I'm like, there's no way I personally would start him. But if they got little extra stuff like that, again, it's Kyle Shanahan. I don't know what to believe when stuff like that comes out. So that's the, like, I mean, he's got him in the starting running back spot. So that's the only, like, really, I don't know. But we'll see. Jonathan Taylor, I mean, David Montgomery absolutely shredded that LA defense. So I don't know if he's going to shred because he's going to be sharing that with Nyheim Hines. But yeah, I mean, Trey Sermon is pretty much the only question mark. So I got Gotham.
I'm going with first class on this one, actually, to be quite honest. Because, I mean, if you're looking at it, Gotham's big week last week, obviously Christian Kirk, well, with this lineup he has right at this moment. Christian Kirk with a big day, Deebo Samuel with a huge day, right? Like, you're hoping on that repeat, which I don't really think is going to happen. The Trey Sermon thing is the gamble, for sure. I think, Russell Wilson will put up a lot of points. I mean, Tennessee didn't look good last week. They'll probably be a little bit better, but, like, let Russ cook. And then on the other side, though, for first class, I mean, I think Stafford, we have seen what he is, but, like, I don't think he's had this kind of weaponry at his, like, service in his entire career at, like, a full-scale level, right? Like, Darrell Henderson is a good back, right? And then the wide receivers, Cooper Kupp plays his, like, craft perfectly. Robert Woods is reliable. And then, now you've got, like, guys like Van Jefferson or Tutu Atwell with some speed that, like, Matt Stafford has the arm to get it to. Jason Goff, love Jason Goff. But Jared Goff is not that guy with that arm, right? So to me, Matt Stafford, even against Indy, like, I see that, like, being a good week. And, so he's just got guys that, Derrick Henry, I don't think he's going to be as bad as he was last week, obviously. And then the Kyle Pitts one, I mean, against Tampa Bay, like, I guess that's, Devin White against him in certain matchups, which Devin White is great. So, like, that one I'll be interested to watch just from a player-on-player matchup,
right?
Depending on who they get matched up on Pitts. But I actually think that First Class has a good shot at this just because, the Sermon thing I'm not really sure about. And, I mean, 2 touchdowns out of Adam Thielen. I think Arizona's defense is better than I anticipated this year. So
Crazy.
It's close, but yeah, I got first class. I mean, even the projected points are close. So
Yeah, they are.
You know how much that matters in this league. So.
Yeah, exactly.
no, right. I mean, again, yeah.
I think we all have. If we're right, we will all. Most of us will end the week 1-1, and I think based on us, DB and me would be the only one with 2-0 if we're right. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, I put it out, like I wrote it out before today.
Did you?
Before the show? Yeah, because I was like, all right, let me look at this based on my picks. So for my picks, it would be 2-0 would be DB and you for Krispy Kremes. 1-0 would be Show Me, Gotham's, Ray Ray's, Puppets, Yeezy, First Class, and myself. And then 0-2 would be the Swaggy Naggies and Code J's.
The Code J's. Wait. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds about right, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think I started out 0-2 last year because week 2 was the injury for Saquon, and I ended up making some moves, getting into playoffs, and then third place. So
you guys have a lot of draft picks. I think that OBJ was just the first of many moves. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the first of many moves to come. Excited to see.
Hold up, man, because y'all I'm like 5 steps behind, So I was still studying this QB matchup of Wilson, Baker. Herbert, man.
Yeah, he's got a lot of choices.
He does. Why does he have Herbert on? I mean, I know Tennessee was trash last week. Oh man, Tennessee was trash. That's a hard matchup.
I know, but if Henry gets going and it's both the running backs get going and burn time off the clock, is he gonna have that big of much time to work,
True.
I think it's going to go to Beckett.
Seattle defense, I think they had like 3 sacks last week. I don't think they had any picks or any turnovers, but I think they had like 3 sacks. So, I mean, they were pretty decent. Yeah. Excuse me. Pretty decent. And that Tennessee line was so weak. So, I don't know. You got a good point. Both of those running backs could be ironing out that clock. I'm with DGB with thinking that Chargers Dallas game is going to be fireworks. So there's no way I would not be just studying Justin Herbert this week. But hey, that's just me. I completely forgot to look at the benches. We'll be at better analysts next week and analyze the benches as well. How about that?
The benches, yeah.
The benches. Why would you play this person over this player type deal? You know what I mean? Shame him live type deals type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he actually benched Saquon this week? I did not see that.
The timing of that comment was just hilarious.
He benched Saquon. I mean, smart, but he benched Saquon for Trey Sermon. How many people in the world would do that? I'm finna send him a trade offer for a 3rd rounder for Saquon. That's crazy.
I tried, bro. It don't work.
No.
Yeah.
All right, but this was the very first one. This one's a bit longer. We're trying to condense it next time. But it was the first one of the season. Had to get through things. You know what I'm saying? Iron out a few things. But it's gonna be a good season. I think the league has got a lot of disparity. I know we're only a 10-team league. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's what causes a lot of that.
Yeah. But still, like I think like a lot of stuff is spread out pretty evenly. So it's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a pretty good year. I thought. First of all, hold on. Shame on all of you. I completely forgot about this. Y'all were all afraid of Derek Jean Blair.
Yeah.
All summer long.
Well, still are trying to hate on me in the chat.
We can't do it
every day.
We can't give him this. The man started off 0-1.
Yeah.
Please
focus on your own teams. Focus on your own teams, fellas.
Please stop this nonsense going forward. No one knows what the hell is going to happen in fantasy football. Please stop. Please stop. You guys cost me $8 million because you didn't want to adjust the cap because of COVID. We don't know if DGB is going to be great. We don't know about COVID. But nah. Y'all trash. I'm still hot on that one.
What a plea right there.
I'm sorry. I got hot.
But in terms of rule changes, that was the most contested, like hotly contested.
But dope. Hey, good episode 1. F.O.L.O. We'll get back. We'll try to be back next week. We'll see what happens with that.